up to speed, up to speed, up to speed.
Live from the apocalypse. Couldn't change me if I had a diaper on. This is state of the game. We are an adequate rest from the 3 commercials that your streaming service plays over and fucking over and fucking over. See, those won't be here. I am Dano, essentially the Michael McDonald of whatever the fuck this is that we're doing. And my co-host here, the Kenny Loggins of question mark, is K Diggy. Thank you for being here. And
Yeah, man.
you know, you make the gopher dance, for Caddyshack reference here. Oh, that really could be a Bruiser Wolf bar. So this is state of the game, and there are some times on this show where we talk to people, and a combination of those people creates a sum greater than its individual parts.
Synergy.
It's a chemistry, it's a synergy, and it's a team, and so this is a team that has come together before, right? The mighty Penman Dash Lewis, the Rizzo Whisperer, Dylan Green, aka CineMasai, celebrating 200 episodes of Real Notes.
Oh God,
200 episodes.
Yeah, man.
And the thing is, getting better, which is fabulous.
Man, I'm just trying to keep up with y'all, man. Like y'all are coming up with like y'all got your showcase coming up. Like you've been pulling bigger and bigger guests. Like you're building, man. Like this is like like Dash is constantly doing amazing things. Just had the homies, Annals and Knives on Stereo Gum. Like I'm just proud of all of us, man. This is our third go around, and I hope we get 20 more. Come on, bro.
Can I tell you where I think you've improved the most over the 200 episodes?
Sure. I'm so curious.
Stop me if this is not weird. So you've always been someone who's engaged and passionate with the music. You've always known exactly what the fuck you're talking about. You have that analysis thing where you could blow people away with a thought they haven't thought of. That you brought that to the table, right? Episode 1. What you've gotten better at, to me, is living in the moment of the conversation and following up.
Yeah, I would agree. Not that I wasn't good at it, but I was so used to not being able to do that, like writing. So it gets different when I can just kind of go with somebody for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I feel like particularly within the last like 2 seasons, I've really been I've been able to lock in. So thank you. That means a lot to hear, and you're like doing it with Open Mike Eagle was like, that was important to me because he and I had talked, like a decade ago, and everything he's done is so inspiring. So, like having him for number 200 was a special moment, but thank y'all, man. Just happy to still be here.
It's fabulous. So with it, the team had convened to talk about the last Ka album, to talk about the last Armand Hammer album. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna, I shouldn't be laughing at this. We need to acknowledge the fact that episode came out like that shit dropped like a week or 2 or 3 right before he passed. It was like right before like at most a month. So
110%.
That episode is very emotionally charged.
It was so strange though. Like and this is going to be a strange comparison. My cousin died of cancer. I think she was 23 or 24. And I cleared like all my time off and just sat by her bedside for weeks. And I was there when she passed. And it's one of the happiest things for me because she lived in California, I lived in Maine, and I never got to spend time with her. And I was there when she needed me. So I always think about that because I got to know her when I didn't get to, so it's a weird comparison, but I didn't feel like I had to do a tribute to Cobb because I felt like we did it.
Yeah.
That episode we did, which is a top 10 episode. Both of these episodes we've done are top 10 in listenership. that that episode felt like we did it. You know, we said what we needed to say,
Yeah.
and it hit at the right time. We were there for people who were going through it. So, I mean, that's a hell of a thing and a gift.
Yeah,
So,
man.
yeah.
I think about what Dash said about the last song on that album every time I hear it now.
Woo!
Just like the way that you dug into like the how crazy the vocal sample is. Like I can't like
Yep.
that shit really it really burns my soul every time I listen to it. So yes, you know, like
And after that
we really
song,
did
there's
something
been some
special.
screaming samples songs.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
It's been interesting to watch. So, but yes, today we convene again
let's
to
go.
talk about um, a, a polarizing figure, a fabulous talent. Um, yeah, the William Shatner of the Underground, delivery wise. Bruiser Wolf. I say that just to say like Rock Marciano really introduced a negative space into the flow
Hmm.
that was a regular part of the flow. It wasn't like I'll do this once or twice. It was like I'm going to give you this negative space. I'm going to hit it and hold it, and I'm going to shake you a little bit, you know? Uh, and Bruiser Wolf feels like I'm going to take that shit to the extreme. Now I'm waiting a few beats, you know? Um, and so it is Shatner esque in at points, the flow. But and I try and protect my family from it because I'm like, there's no way they'll understand this or like this at all. Like, this is too out there, you know? Um, yeah. So it's wild. So how would you characterize the delivery?
Oh man, who wants to go first? I
Either
feel like I've
way,
talked too much
I'm fine.
already.
I mean, it's like there's been a lot of comparisons to Sugar Free, and I think that those
Yes.
are fairly apt.
Yeah.
Um, I just think about stand-up comedy when I listen to Bruiser Wolf,
Ooh.
where it's
Hmm.
like everything is about timing. He does these things with his voice where he kind of like you can kind of predict the release of tension or a punchline or something by how he ratchets up the tone of his voice and then he brings it back down like this. And it becomes this kind of like roller coaster where you're like, oh shit, what's about to happen? And then he says something and you're like, that's insane. It's like a really fun I don't know, it's like watching sine waves on an oscilloscope or something. Like you know you're gonna go up here and then it's gonna come back down here and the energy is gonna kind of settle for a minute, but he's gonna bring it back up. And it becomes listening to him is really exciting because it feels so unpredictable, even if you've listened to the songs so many times.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like for me, like of course, Sugar Free E40, and there's like a bit on Dope Game Stupid where he it's on Whip Test where he says like there is one thing I learned from E40, somebody in the clique got to be legit, which like of course
Yeah.
like be legit. Just like he came in already knowing that people were gonna be making that comparison, and that was his first project. It just he was already so self aware and like ready he was anticipating being uh received that way. But like yeah, like it really is just like stand-up comedy is a great way to put it. It's like that or when I reviewed Dope Game Stupid, I think I said he sounded like a I think I said he sounded like a jogger who made it through like three-quarters of a marathon and was like had like a thought he needed to tell you. Like that's kind of how he sounded to me. Like he just he like everything about it is so urgent, like it's like urgent and casual at the same time.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like he's gonna say it regardless of whether or not people are listening to him. And yeah, there's just it's unique. It's like there really isn't I don't really know that there is like a precedent or like like not to say that there's like no father to his style or nothing, but like there's really no like even like as apt as the Sugar Free stuff feels, it's just like it's not the same because like Sugar Free kind of is like looser with rhythm, and Wolf is very kind of like It's all
Yep.
still like very 4/4, technically on the beat, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck that means, you know.
Right.
But like he's just, I don't know. He's, you just know he's there, and it's like boom, it's Bruiser Wolf, you know.
Yep.
That's the guy.
Yep. The yeah, Kay, how does it hit you? How did it how have you felt about
Yeah,
this
I mean,
record?
it's definitely a unique listen. Well, he's a unique artist to listen to, and I like what Gardner said about the timing. Like his comedic timing or sense of timing is very unique, and to hear that rhythmically over music is fascinating.
And the excitement, the comedic excitement, right?
Yeah.
Really drill down into this, right? Most comics are doing stories, right? They'll stretch it out, right? You might this story can be 20 minutes, right? But then there are some people, some insane people that live on punchlines, one liners.
Yeah.
And when the crowd realizes that's what this is, and it's going to be haymaker after haymaker after haymaker, the crowd gets kind of excited because it's a bit dangerous. It's a
Mm.
bit dangerous, you know?
Yeah.
Dangerous in what
I
way?
It's a bit dangerous because you punchlines you have to hit every time, right?
yeah.
One liners you have to hit every time, right? You can't, a story can have a soft part that isn't that rewarding, that leads to a rewarding part later. You know what I mean? You can make it work tension wise.
Right.
Uh, if you're living on those one liners, if every hit has to be a power shot.
Right. And I mean like these two are kind of, and they might be like shaky examples, but like the two that come to mind for me are people like like J. Cole is somebody who comes to mind all the time. Like early on, just like the heating up like the leftover lasagna, I'm the shit, you can't out fart me. Like these are stuff that's like you can't bounce back from that stuff. And like even his biggest fans today are gonna be like, yeah, he was tripping with that shit. But then and then like somebody like Benny, who Benny the Butcher, who I think is also a very punchline heavy rapper, but like he'll have a few where it's just like you 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 could have had another pass at that, bro. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't good, man. But I mean, like to your point, like that really, like, and it's interesting because I know this is something you wanted to get into later, but like we all kind of go to Wolf for punchlines because his punchlines are so specific, unique, and just like he has a very unique way of seeing the world that comes through in his writing. But like one of the things I've liked about really all his projects, but particularly like this one or rather, excuse me, Dope Game Stupid and Potluck, is that like just the more like straightforward storyteller stuff is starting to come out a little bit more. And like I don't think people appreciated stuff like Made Men from Dope Game Stupid, or like Mama Was a Dope Fiend is one that people, it's such a turn, it's such a pivot, like from like, hey, I'm gonna talk about going up the
Right.
wall like Spider-Man, to here's my relationship with this with my mother who I sold the same drugs. It's just like there's no, it's like the whiplash is crazy. But now he's kind of balancing things a little more, and that's something that I'm really fascinated by too.
That
It
brings
kind
me
of
to a
reminds
really
me, one
good.
second, I just was thinking about the
Yep.
punchline thing and thinking about like uh people that we could compare him to, or like styles that seem similar. And I was thinking about Thurston Howell the third a lot.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
like, I don't know, he just put out another album, I think in like March or something like that. I haven't listened to it, but I was obsessed with that dude like 20 years ago because I hadn't heard anyone do that. Like he does that same sort of like halting, sort of like, huh, I'm about to say something crazy. Here it is. And it was like hilarious. Like he would come up with punchlines that just felt like uh, I don't know, no one else could really come up with stuff like that. And so I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with this, but I think that that's one that we could point to. That's someone we could point to as like someone who was doing something similar for a long time. And I think Bruiser Wolf has elevated that style and taken it into a new direction. And with this new album is like trying on these new ideas to see how he can take that style and develop it further.
What a
But sorry
great
to cut you
point.
off, Dan.
No, yeah. I mean, it's a great point. From what we were saying about um, "Mama Was a Dope Fiend" is a hell of a song, right? And my jaw dropped on that, but that was where you started to see the reverse centrifugal force of the Shatner flow, like because you were normally you're the punchline is dropping at the end. You're like, oh, crazy, this is fun, and then it was like a grown woman pause eating dog food, you know, and it was like, holy shit, like the pause was working in an entirely different direction, making things tenser, making things sadder, and that was probably the window in to the dark the dark side of Wolf, which is one of the
Yeah.
things I love about Wolf. Like it's I don't know why I'm making this comparison, but when my wife was would walk by and I'd be watching Narcos, she'd be like, "Oh, like why are you watching this?" And I'd be like, "This show makes you earn it.
Yeah.
When people die in this show, it hurts.
Yeah.
This isn't cute. This isn't kitschy. This isn't fun. It's not operatic. It's human. And when people die, their families cry, you know?
Hmm.
And that's to me maybe the difference between Sugar Free and Wolf, right? Is Wolf has songs that let you know his life is not great.
Yeah. Or at least it wasn't great
Or
at
yeah, I
one
mean
point.
like
Yeah.
the first song that I can think of that really like I was enamored by in that dark side of Wolf Way was Waiting in the Lobby.
Oof. Good
Mm.
one.
I kept running it because, and I know that like that album, My Story's Got Stories, is heavily critiqued because it's very hooky. It's primarily kind of hooks, bridges, whatever. But man, there's so much emotion in those hooks. There's so much sadness in the delivery, waiting
Hmm.
in the lobby, and like just those sentences I could never string together and think like, oh my God, you can't wait to tell your son that like later. Like uh it was really wild and sad. It was sad. It wasn't triumphant like fuck that bitch, you know? And those themes continue, you know. On this album, Potluck, my only really issue with Potluck is to me, confusing is the last song.
Mm.
No, Overlooks is the last song.
Yeah, I understand that. It should
Oh,
be to
okay, okay,
me
okay.
confusing.
Sorry.
Yeah,
My
no, you're
fault.
right.
I
You're
hear
right.
what you're saying.
Oh, and I don't have a problem with Overlooks. It's a very good song. I think it should be flipped. It should go from whipping to Overlooks to confusing.
Right.
Because to me, confusing is wrenching. And it's a warning that I don't have this figured out.
Hmm.
You need to know
Yeah.
that. I don't have this figured out. You can't live like I do and be loving it. It's I think that's really valuable and keeps him poignant in my mind.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's like yeah, like on a song like Confusing in particular is like a lot of that is him kind of grappling with the way he talks about and deals with women, which is something that comes up a lot on his songs. And like it's not like it's not clean in the sense that he's kind of like, I'm a dirtbag, I'm a stop, like he's kind of he's like leaning into it in a way where he's like, this is just kind of who I am, which is, like it makes things more complicated than they might be otherwise. And it's kind of like this once again, it's kind of like Whiplash in
Right.
like not as intense a way as Mama Was a Dope Fiend, but it's very much like this is kind of what it is, and it's not you're not really dressing it up Cause like you go back and listen to a lot of these songs and like the punchlines are funny and they're specific, but they're all connected to stuff that's really fucked up. And it put and you know, like it puts this barrier, this like coat of paint over it. And then like that's one thing I've noticed that he loves to do is like he'll make a bunch of these songs and then there will be like one or two that just completely obliterate the varnish and there's just no barrier and it's just like this is what it is and like he'll still like word things clever but like he's not joking, you
Right.
know, and
Right.
like he I think like I interviewed him for hearing things. It'll probably come out like in August. We did this a while ago, but it's coming
Mhm.
soon. Shout out to Wolf, that's the boy. But you know, he's like we didn't get to talk about this, but like that's something I've always kind of noticed is like he'll just have these like handful of moments that are just like bam, and then the car keeps moving. He's good
Right.
at that.
Right.
There's a great punchline in that song where he says the tequila was 6 o'clock military time.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Remember?
That's
And
awesome.
that's like if you're kind of like zoning out and you hear that, you're like, oh yeah, that's a funny Bruiser Wolf line. And then you think about the things that are around it, and that's basically him just sitting down, pouring tequila in a glass and being like, what the fuck? How do I deal with all this stuff? And then diffusing that a little bit with some humor and then going right back into being like, I don't know how to process these thoughts. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's so jarring because it's kind of like that style that you were saying, Dylan, in miniature. It's like he has this really heavy shit. He breaks it up with this moment of like complete levity. That's the thing that I see people talk about, like online or whatever, with that song is like the tequila was military time. And yet if you think about the context in which he's saying that he's observing something in this moment of pain and trying to like make it palatable.
Yep. That's such a great
For
point.
sure.
The
Yeah, man.
yeah, it's so Kay, question for you.
Yeah.
Is Bruiser Wolf a coke rapper?
It reminds me because I know that clips are in the news a lot now.
They are?
I was reading an article about the clips where they asked the same question about the clips, and they made the point about how the way that the clips, Pusha T specifically, or in particular, uses coke as an entryway to talk about a deeper theme.
Okay. Yep.
So it's almost like a gateway type of thing. I think that yes, that there is a lot of coke rap in Bruiser Wolf's rap, but it's not about coke. It's a way to he uses coke to explore deeper themes.
Yep.
You know, I'd agree with that. I also feel like he lowest of keys, he raps more about heroin than he does about coke. I kind of
Yeah.
noticed that around my story guy stories. I started hearing some slang and I was like, wait a minute, he's talking about heroin right now. Like
Mm,
you know, like
yeah.
people don't really be talking about heroin in rap these days. So that's another thing that kind of helps him stand out because like there's obviously coke stuff in there too, but like
Yeah.
Sure.
you know like there's a bit on one of the punchlines on Beat the Charge, the Nicholas Craven joint. He mentioned something about four and a baby, and I'm like, that's he's talking about heroin. Like that's fucking,
Yeah.
you know, like it just hit me right in the face, and I was like, whoa, like that's a heroin bar. But like, but you know, like, but to Kay's point, um, you know, like it's very much like all of that stuff colors like whatever theme he's trying to get into,
Mm-hmm.
and just like the whole like how triumphant but like ugly it is. Like beat the charge is like a very triumphant song and being like there are those moments where it's just like hey like this is what I had to do to get here, this is what I had to do before I got yeah he's just I agree with that 100%.
How do you feel about all this dash about the coke rap designation? What it means, who it involves.
I mean, I wouldn't say that he's a coke rapper. I think that I don't know that I have anything different to say than what Kay was saying. I think that he uses these things as entry points to tell these harrowing stories about the realities of what it is to live in a city like Detroit that's been completely forgotten and ignored by
Right.
the political apparatus of this country. And so you scrape and you get it out the mud and you do what you have to do, and it's ugly. Um, and there's a lot of ugliness that goes around that, and there's a lot of like no one, I don't know. For me, I think it can be when I listen to the clips, it can be hard to find like the regret in some of those bars. And I think it's there. Like, I'm not saying it's not there, but it some of it comes off as just sort of like flashy at first glance. With Bruiser Wolf, I think that there is no glorification of this. There is no sort of like, let me make this sound appealing. This is I mean, it's kind of like Boldy James in that way, where it's like these are really intense details about this thing that brings me and everyone surrounded that surround that excuse me, that brings me and everyone that comes in contact with me in this particular mode pain. It brings us heartache. I have to see things. I know that I'm complicit in heartbreak. And so I don't know. I think the term coke rap gets thrown around a lot
Very much.
in
Yeah.
maybe reckless ways. Because I think it's not really, if you say that someone is a coke rapper, I don't know, maybe ask the second question is all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's and yeah, I was just thinking about it in terms of like comparing it to something like Stove God Cooks, where Stove God is super fun. I love listening to Stove God, but it kind of is pure pageantry. Like he's having a ball, he's doing a thing, it's a good time.
Yeah.
But like the emotional range of Wolf to me is a whole different level.
Mm.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. And like I'm saying this as somebody who was like at one time a very big Stove God Cooks fan, and every time I hear him now, I'm like, okay. Like I'm interested to see what he's gonna bring to the Clips album, of course, but like I don't know. I just like outside of like a handful of features, like like he's one note in that way where I'm like, I know what I'm about to hear. Like I'm almost like kind of good off it. Like I've been surprised a few times, but I just like there was a period like when Reasonable Drought came out, I was real
Oh
excited. I
yeah,
was like,
that's
damn, this guy's crazy. But
yeah.
then like outside of like Bubba Chuck off of Fly God is an Awesome God, I haven't really been super impressed. Sorry.
No, it, and
I
I
know that
think
might be a hot take. I know people love them some Stove God, but
yeah, no, that's why I had to bring it up and be like,
yeah.
people talk about Stove God like he's Andre 3000, and like I don't see the range in comparison to what Wolf is doing. Like to me, Whippin' is one of the most fun songs of the year. The melody,
Mm-hmm.
the beat, when Whippin' comes on, I just go into a different zone. But when it's over, I sit there thinking, God, the most fun album of this song and one of the most fun albums of the year is just about making drugs. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how sad is that? Like, the joy carries the sadness with it, you know? Um, and it's there. And I think that's really, yeah, it just keeps it really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, no. And you like you factor that in. You factor that in with like the range of producers that are all over this project, like like you got like Craven doing his Luke thing. You got Fraud breaking his shit up into four pieces. You got him rhyming over filthy beats and a Sango beat, which was really fun. Like that was the one I was most interested to see pop. I don't know if I'd call it my favorite song on the project, but it's one that like I would like even at this stage, like when I first saw the track list, I was like, oh, Sango's on here. That's kind of cool. Like that's the one that seemed the most radical. to me, as opposed because I know people were like, oh, he's gonna go in on Filthy, which like he's already done once before. He did it on that Rosenberg freestyle, but like
Right, right.
like that's like a
Man, and
I
that
don't know.
song is perfect. That song is so
Yeah,
perfect.
it's a cool
Um,
song. I like it.
yeah. I just that
He's got
song, that's one of those focus songs that gets me focused. What were we
he's
saying
got
that?
that bit on Offer I Couldn't Refuse. I was looking through my notes to remember exactly what song it was, but back to the like coke rap idea where and it comes back to that sort of like he will detonate like a depth charge
Mhm.
of realness, for lack of a better word. But in the first verse of Offer I Couldn't Refuse, he says, like a few more flips and I'm out of it. How did I get here? I had a scholarship. I played ball. Now it's an 8 ball in my pocket. And then he
Yep.
goes, fuck it, drop it. Let's switch the subject. And
Yep.
it's just like that. That's not someone who's glorifying what they're doing. That's someone who's being like, how do I reconcile wanting to be alive and wanting other to be people to be alive? How do I reconcile the joy that I want to impart with the things that I'm doing and seeing? That's like some really, really heavy shit.
Yeah. On a Filthy beat, like most people are coming, like knowing Filthy for the stuff he does with Cardi and people. Like
Right.
obviously he's done more than that, but like, like you're not really getting that on any other kind of Filthy beat. So that's like it's pretty profound shit.
Yeah. Yeah. The and this is an environment, this underground is an environment of one producer, one rapper albums, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
become a bit of a fantasy league of like, who do you want to be with who would you like? And I do this all the time. I am totally guilty of this. I love doing this, and I think I have maybe caused some albums. I don't know. But with Wolf, these last two albums, he's so good at mixing multiple producers in to create a full palette that I'm like reticent to want him to do a full album with a full producer.
Yeah, even though we all know they're coming at some point, like I think he's already said that him and Craven have a whole project. I think him and Fraud have a whole project. Um, I try not to do that either, but if I had to throw my hat in the ring, I want a whole project with Knowledge because
Yes.
because like that opener, man, like
Phenomenal.
yo,
Yes.
yes, say no more is fucking insane. Like that's far and away my favorite song on this project. Like I played it probably like 7 or 8 times, just like refreshing myself on this album for today. Like yeah, like between that and Mama was a dope fiend. Like if it were to happen, I'm not here to fantasy league, but just like if we're gonna talk about like opening tracks that set a tone, set a mood, like really establish what an artist is about and what they could do, like that shit goes nuts. It's just that's like it's like damn near like it's like a quintessential Wolf song to me.
Yeah. And because you want if you're putting a rapper with knowledge, you want to be able to throw anything at that fucking rapper,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you want knowledge to just go nuts. If you handed him a pack of like video game beats, you know, fucking
Yeah.
he'd kill it. Wolf would kill that shit. He'd be like, it's fine. Like
And what's
yeah.
funny? I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off.
go ahead.
Like I could even imagine him on like some No Worries type shit. Like he would fit so well on a No Worries album.
Sure.
Like like you put him on like you put him on Where Do I Go? He like
Yeah.
that's like to me if that song ever got a remix, Wolf needs to be on that shit. It would be
Yeah.
so easy.
Yeah.
He would fit perfectly. Like he's got that vibe to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and it's watching him develop the chemistry with these different producers at the same time has been really, really dope.
Yeah, man.
The him and Fraud have a real connection. Um, I think, and I think if Harry Fraud's a little underrated. Um, I think Fraud is an expert at being kinetic, like giving you stuff that's fun, that's realized, that's there right now. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, no, he is really good. Like he's super adaptable, you know, like he could work with Valet. He's obviously done, you know, like him and French and Chinks
right.
Drugs came up together, like like him and Smoke Dizza, like some of my favorite stuff in the 2010s was like
Oh
made
my
by
God.
like fucking why am I forgetting the name of the goddamn album? It wasn't George Cush the Button. George Cush the Button had a bunch of
No, it
producers on
wasn't.
it.
It was the Nookie Thompson
Um,
thing.
there
Remember?
we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
they have a bunch of projects together. I don't know, man. Like Fraud is one of those people who's just like, and of course, like him and Currency, they got their thing going on too. Like I was just running back one of the songs from the Outrunners, the one with Jim Jones on it. That's I
Mm.
I
Dude,
love
the
that
Jim
song.
Jones Fraud Department album was great. Like I don't
Yeah.
know,
Oh
man.
yeah, right.
It's
That album
good.
was crazy. Yeah,
That
no,
was
it was it was
crazy,
it was
dude. It's
crazy.
Fraud.
It was
Yeah.
yeah.
Fraud lights things up. It's yeah. Fraud's beats are like Christmas trees.
Yeah,
Rod had
man.
my favorite beat on that Pink Seafood and Too Rich Benji album.
Mm.
I
Oh
can't remember the name of the song now,
yeah.
but it's that really ethereal, like synthesizer beat. That record is way slept on. Not to go in a completely
For
different direction,
sure.
but he had my
Mhm.
favorite beat on there that was just like, dude is so adaptable. He really
Yeah.
kind of understands who he's working with and is chameleonic in that way, to
Yeah.
like successfully chameleonic in that way.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I'm just happy he's still here, man. Like it's yeah, like I interviewed him years ago. It was around the time oh, I forget when it was now, but I got to thank him for and like some of his best stuff is just like the loop shit. You know, like there's this incredible fucking song from Larry June's Keep Going, which I think is also a full-length Harry Fraud collab album. I'm
Right.
blanking on the name of it, but it's just a loop. It's just like a grainy fucking loop, and it's just perfect. You know, like he can do stuff like that. He can do stuff where he's like splitting the beat into four parts, like on air fryer. Like
Air
I don't know,
fryer.
man.
Oh
Like
my God.
shout out to Fraud, bro. That's a legend right there. You know, shout out to him.
I couldn't believe how many times air fryer changed. That
Yeah, me
was
either. I,
just
I wasn't expecting that shit. I always only remember the first two, and then I listened again yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, there's like 3 and 4 beat changes on here. Like, what the fuck?"
yeah, dude. Yeah,
Good
dude.
shit.
And that was what I was listening to that song with shout out to Big R, great supporter of underground hip hop. We were talking, he
Yeah,
was like, I think Wolf could go to the next level and break big. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, I can't even envision it. Like with his voice being as weird as it is and his taste and style, like I can't see the underground sorry, I can't see the pop space figuring this out.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know either.
Can you imagine, like, Kay, which song would like there be a video of Chris Evans dancing to off Potluck?
Chris
You
Evans.
know, like a
Chris Evans.
TMZ thing, like he's dancing with a with a starlet or whatever, and to this to a Bruiser Wolf song. What song is it?
Chris Evans. Marvel. Chris Evans.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my. I I can't wrap my head around that
I'd
picture.
want it to be two bad bitches. I'd want it to be. I think that
That could be fun. That could be
would
fun.
be fun. So, but yeah, it just doesn't. I don't think they would know. And his voice is so different, you know, that I can hear spots where people would be annoyed, where it's like no timeout, Chris Webber, and how hard he goes into the weird nasally, um, and it just sounds like um a kid at the end of his rope begging you for something. Like it's just,
Yeah,
that's the tone of the voice. And it's awesome, and I love the experimentation, but I don't think everybody figures that out. I don't think everybody knows that. I think this is for
No,
us.
because I mean, in modern for modern music, rap music, in my opinion, most rappers are just accompanying the beat and not vice versa. So anything where you have to actually engage with what the rapper is saying and how he's saying it is a little bit more difficult for the average listener to digest.
God damn it, that sounded smart.
Yeah.
I can't wait to edit this shit and listen to that shit again. That
Yeah.
sounded smart.
I actually have an anecdote to follow that up with because
Go for it.
what's it called? I mean, like I've been I play Wolf pretty often, or at least there was a period of
Yep.
time where I was playing him pretty often. My partner heard a couple songs and they kind of stopped and heard a bar or two and were like, "What the fuck? Like, what are you listening to?" And then it just got to the point where I'd like pause a song and be like, "This fool just said." Da 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 da, and they would just like think about it for a second, and then just like suck their teeth and be like, shit, like that's kind of crazy. And then I drove us to the mall out here one time and I played Holler at Your Man's Coming Back, and it's just like blasting in the car. And uh son said he said I was Superman moving that lowest lane. And maybe about 5 seconds after that, Desiree looked at me and was like, "Oh, it's because this white girl." See, I was like, hook, line, and fucking sinker. There we go. Like it's
Yep.
like once it clicks though, that's the thing.
Yep.
But like to your point about like him not being able to infiltrate the pop. I don't really know that that's something that like yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I think he could, but it's not really something that I'd want to see like explode in that way, because it's just
Yeah.
like, it's just very like, I don't know. I want success for everyone, but I also don't want people to feel like they need to chase the high of like, I need to do this type. Like, not that, not that he's that type of person at all. He doesn't strike me as that, but it's just like there's something really special about him just being something of an acquired taste, where it's just like if you get it, you get it, and if you don't,
Yep.
it's just not your thing, and that's fine. But like, like just like one of those where you sit with it, and then like there's just that one line that's like, oh wait a minute, it just unlocked everything, and it just makes every song sound like fucking like gold tablet writing,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
the the if it seems like a situation where if Wolf were to break, the pop world would have to come to him.
Yeah,
The pop
Mm.
world would have to come to his sound. It would be a little
yeah.
like what happened to E40, who was hated by everyone, like everyone back in the day. Like
Which
it just
is
people who didn't know him, hadn't met him, they were like, fuck that voice and that person who said it. Like, and they and fast forward 10, 15 years later, like people who are like, you know, he's and they're like, they have to pretend to like E40 now, which is a win, you know,
yeah, which
because
is
he's
what
a big deal. So, um,
yeah.
it's he's the godfather of a bunch of weird styles that came after him. So
Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
Wolf could be in that situation where 10 years from now, we see the seeds of people taking in this run.
So now I gotta ask the question, um, who would? Because I mean, like Lil Jon produced most of my Ghetto Report Card, and I feel like that's a big part of the reason why
Yep.
E40 kind of like he infiltrated the mainstream because like of course Lil Jon was popping around that time, but like who would who would make Bruiser Wolf's My Ghetto Report Card? Like you like
Mm.
that's the type of project where you need like one or two producers. Like
Right.
who would be the person to push him into that area? Like because I don't know. I don't have an answer.
That's a good question. That's a good
Yeah.
question. I'll be honest, Dash, there's a lot of pop rap producers who I think are smarter than the people they have to deal with. So, um, I would really I have full faith that like Metro Boomin could do that.
I was thinking more like Zaytoven.
Zaytoven, a bit of
I
a
I
could
think
see
Beethoven
Beethoven.
Wolf would be like that would be the thing that would carry him through.
yep.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anybody else
Ooh.
besides that. Metro Boomin maybe, but I think Zaytoven he's got his style is just a little bit more colorful.
What about Mike Will Made It?
Ooh.
Could be fun.
Yeah, I could see it.
Could be fun. Could be fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
Yeah,
London on the
I'm
track.
London on the. I would actually go London on the track
London on the track could
more
be a
than
good
Mike
one.
Will,
yeah,
personally.
yeah.
Oh, I wish I could remember Son's name, but he made like an EP with some rapper like 10 years ago that I was like obsessed with for like 6 months. I ran that shit back so many times. I'm gonna look it up later
What about
and
or
remember it and be
Pierre
into it.
Bourne? What about some Pierre Bourne bounce?
Pierre could be fun.
Ooh.
It could be
Pierre
fun.
could be fun. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
I also just love I love Pierre. It would have to be like the right thing though, because I'm not trying to hear Wolf over like a Young Nudie type beat. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to hear him
Agreed.
over like
Agreed. Agreed.
what the fuck is this? What's the song with Nudie and 21 Savage? I can hear the beat in my head. I'm mad. I'm blanking on
Oh
it.
yeah.
But either way, like I could see that too, or like I don't know who
Mm.
else. I'm really at a loss.
Or yeah, or you go the Saba route and it's no ID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I get like, you know, what would be fun. Yeah, now that we're gonna go down that road, I think Overcast and Bruiser Wolf would do some cool shit.
Mm,
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be fun because like Cast is
yeah.
somebody who has a lot of range too, like particularly with these last two projects, the Cardo one and While the Iron's Hot, like those two, like Cast and Bruiser Wolf could do some damage, I think if possible. But you know, like,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I think that like My Ghetto Report Card was a big album for me because it came out like when I was in high school. Like Tell Me When to Go was a huge fucking hit. Like Ghost Ride in the Whip, like that was the thing. Everybody, like it was like that and the Soldier Boy for us, you know.
Mm.
Like it was all like that was a big part of that wave. So it's just like that particular mix, that particular mashup of like a rapper with some experience under their belt with this kind of like newly ascendant producer who just like they come together and the shit just explodes because it's perfect timing. It's like one of those like miraculous things for me. I mean, like, you know,
Yeah.
like I was also younger and I'm sure other people have different feelings, but like, I don't know, like My Ghetto Report Card was important for me because of that. And I think it'd be fun if Wolf got a moment like that. Like if 5 years down the line he comes out with like a Tell Me Where to Go type song, like great. I'm not mad at that, you know. It'd be fun because you know like nobody because I mean like nobody thought Danny Brown would get as big as he did, and you know like he hasn't had like a Tell Me When to Go type hit, but like he's fucking Danny Brown now, you know, like he's a pretty, even if he hasn't scored all these hits, he's a pretty big deal in his own right. So
I
Right.
don't
Like
know.
what? Well,
I don't
and my
know.
mind is like, what if it was Lex Luger? You know, we got Lex Luger. How would that work? Or like,
that could be
if you
fun.
wanted to win the old demographic, Bink.
So I've never heard of My Ghetto Report Card, but what is it? You said Little John produced it.
A lot of it. I don't
Yeah.
know if it was all of it, but definitely a
He was
lot
on
of it.
his label. Yeah.
What did Little John pull out of E40 that hadn't been shown before?
Um, that's a good question. I feel like with Tell Me When to Go, with Tell Me When to Go in particular, like that song is like it's very hyphy,
Mm-hmm.
but the way the drums sound, it's very much like it was very much giving like crunk era. It was like a mashup of crunk era Atlanta and hyphy stuff. Like he
Mm.
just, you know, like the sensibilities just kind of clicked in a way that I mean, like E40 had hits before that. Like, let's
Right,
not act like he wasn't like a big deal or
right.
anything, but
Yeah.
you know, like that. It just like I think it sounded enough like what he'd already done, and it was tapped just the right amount into the zeitgeist for it to kind of germinate on radio and just turn into this, you know, like to turn Ghost Ride in the Whip into a thing that like 14-year-olds wanted to do outside their high school before they go to Taco Bell, you know, like
And we had covered it, Kate. Like the West and the South had been flirting for a while. right?
Yeah.
The fact that New York hated everybody united everybody, right? So the South West Coast artists would tour the South and vice versa. Snoop goes to No Limit, all that, right? And then like over time, those inroads build, and the crunk movement and the hyphy movement, there's some connectivity there. Um, and they just connected it and it made sense. And it was like
Yeah.
the ultimate ringtone, you know,
Yeah, bro.
for a
Shit was
while.
shit was crazy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we move on from this, I have two. One would be I don't know, what about Bruiser Wolf and like pop star Benny?
Oh hell yeah. Let's
That could be
go.
something really interesting.
It's good
That
That'd
would
stuff.
be
be
fun
very
as hell.
bold. Or what about Polo to Dawn?
Ooh.
Hey man, yeah, that's yeah, rich boy type shit.
Yeah,
I'm into
that could
Yeah, I
be
that.
like
really,
that. I
that could
like that
really be
Ooh,
something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with that
I like that polo.
110%.
Yeah.
110%.
Does he still make music, bro?
I do not know. I was just thinking about him the other day and I forgot to actually check up on him, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If not, like he went out on a super high note. He's got
Mhm.
classics.
Yeah,
Classic.
yeah, like I revisit that Rich Boy album at least 2 or 3 times a year. It's
Mhm.
It's so
incredible
good.
to me. I love it. I love
It's
it.
a
I love it. I
fabulous
love it. Like
album. The
very he was definitely pulling from the same bag as the Neptunes for a little bit there. Like there's a
Mhm.
couple where I was like, is this Pharrell and Chad? But nah, like yeah, nah, shout out to Follow the Don. He's amazing. It's a
so
legend.
the we should talk about the timeline of Wolf albums, right?
Yeah.
Because there's some people where Dope Game Stupid has a special place and they can't and nothing usurps it, you know?
Hmm.
Um, and I was really hitting it hard this week, all of them. And I was like, oh, I get it. Because first time you heard the voice, first time you heard the delivery, sure, everybody's first album is like, people love it. But also, it's packed with these punchlines. It's just jam packed. There's so many quotables, so many punchlines, and the hooks are still dope. Like it's great, but it's not melody is not does not feature as heavily as the projects in the future to me, right?
Right.
Uh, and you said the stories and the interpersonal stuff. That it's a lot of it is hard hitting punchlines, um, in a way people understand, you know. So
Yeah.
where does Dope Game Stupid sit for you all in terms of these three records?
So for me personally, it's still my favorite Wolf album. Like in terms of like an experience beginning to end. Like and like it's interesting to me that that's the one that's like basically a one producer album minus the knowledge beat at the
Right.
end. I mean like I guess I kind of have to interrogate that the notion that like like the first thing's never gonna like that's a good point you bring up. But at the same time, as much as I like the other two albums, they don't hold as much as seamless like front to back experiences. That said, the highs, like as much as I love Dope Game Stupid, there's no song as good as Holler at Your Man's on Dope
Straight
Game
up.
Stupid. Like
Straight
that
up.
like to me, like that's a quintessential Bruiser Wolf song. Like that's one that like if somebody wanted to know what his deal was, give him that one, you know? But like I think just like as a packaged experience, like him and Raffi, shout out to the god Raffi, by the way. Like just like
Rafi's
the two of
unbelievable.
them,
Yeah.
he's insane.
Yep.
Like y'all like when y'all hear that record that him and Shrapnel put together,
Oh
it's
yeah.
gonna
It's
it's
incredible.
gonna turn some
It's
it's gonna
incredible.
turn some fucking heads, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but
It's
Incredible.
insane.
and it's crazy because I say this with all the respect and love in my body. That's my least favorite of the three Shrapnel records.
Right,
Like I
right.
want, but like that's to say that's that says more about the quality of the other two versus how good or bad the other like all three of them are excellent, but like that's the
Incredible.
one where it's like you
Correct.
you heard that and just wait till you hear the other shit. But anyway, Rafi's amazing, and I think he's really good at, like, I'm surprised that I haven't seen him do more like producer projects for other people, just because of like how, like, there's a lot of variety in what he did already. Like the way Rafi comes at it, like, even though it's all mostly just loops. So like, I don't know, like, to me, I'm still kind of like, Dope Game Stupid is like my Wolf album. But also, like, I have to come clean. Like, I reviewed that album for Pitchfork. Like, it
Sure.
was like, putting that together was it was like a special tender time. He hadn't really like blown yet, and this is right before the Bruisers put out TV 62, which is really
Really dope.
really
Yep.
slept on mixtape that I also reviewed for Pitchfork when it came out. Just like this really cool, like, very like homegrown Detroit shit. But either way, Dope Game Stupid is mine.
It was a
That's all I
part,
want to
and
say.
it was a part of that year where they were just dominating, you know?
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Right.
I, when Santa Barbara dropped and
Ooh.
Fat Ray, that
Shout
was
out to
early in
Ray,
the
man.
year, I was just like, I needed this Detroit shit. I
Yeah,
needed this
bro.
shit. Like, it's cold outside. I need this shit. And then Dope Game Stupid and all this stuff. It just became the year of them. Just everybody was going crazy. Z Loopers
Yeah,
and
Quentin Ahmad the God put a project out that year too, right? I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
shout out to the
Yeah.
Bruisers.
It was it was an incredible year. And but to me, that's actually my least favorite of the three.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Come Clean. My order is Potluck, Stories Got Stories, Dope Games.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay. Explain yourself.
So, and by the way, I have Potluck as my album of the year right now.
Crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I respect it. I respect it.
yeah. And I don't know. So it's because that album is weird but beautiful, you know. Uh the sounds are strange. We talked about air fryer changing 4 times. And especially people sometimes go to Harry Fraud for the Harry Fraud beat, you
Yeah,
know?
Hmm.
for
And you
sure.
get something like air fryer, like it's just him being like, okay, if you guys think I'm weird, watch how good this weird can be, you know? Watch how turn I can get with this to actually, seduce your punk ass ears into this shit. So like, and I think that's why, because my story's got stories, I don't know, people felt a little let down, I think. I caught that energy from some people of that they were a little let down by it, because it was hooky, because there were these new producers in the mix, and they may have felt like, this isn't Dope Game Stupid. Um, but I love that record. And I thought it was genuinely a step forward, right, in
Mhm.
making hooks that are poignant, move your story forward. You know, yeah, I play the shit out of that. But then this one is getting the love again because he turned up how crazy the stuff is.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
people are like, all right, I'm back in. That's how it feels from my end. But yeah.
What do you think he learned from the second project that he applied to the recent one?
We've talked about this before, Kay. Sometimes, and I don't know, this is Carlito's Way bonus feature knowledge. And I've
Hey.
probably told the story. Um, but there was a bonus feature on the Carlito's Way DVD where there's an important scene in the movie where he takes his like nephew, goes with him for a drug deal. The drug deal goes wrong, right? And you know, hand gets shut in the ice box, and people get shot, all that stuff.
Yep.
Um, he brought it to studio, and they were like, the writer director are there, and the studio goes, "The scene's too long. Doesn't make sense. Cut it down." And when they left the meeting, he turns to the writer and says, What they meant is it's not long enough.
That's tough. That's cold.
He said they don't know why it's long, which means I didn't explain it. It needs more tension, needs more exploration. He made it longer, brought it back, and they were like, that's one of my favorite scenes. It's perfect. So
Wow.
there are times in making art where you're only giving 70% of yourself and people are looking at you like, what? And I don't like this. And then you give the extra 30 or the extra 20 and they're like, oh shit, that's dope. You know, like you
Yeah.
this potluck feels like more of him than my stories got stories was
Excuse me.
I agree with that.
creatively. Yeah. So yeah.
I think like like as much as once again as much as I enjoyed my story got stories, I think there were like a couple of tracks that kind of felt, how do I want to put this? Because hmm, there's a couple songs on there that feel less organic in the way that he's experimenting and trying to be him.
Mhm.
Like, I know people love Two Bad Bitches. It's not my favorite song.
I hear you.
You know, it's not my favorite song. Like I appreciate the energy and like I like that type of music. Like I'm not saying this is somebody who's, you know, like allergic to Detroit street rap or like turnt shit. Like I love that stuff. But I just don't think it was as good a fit as I would have liked, especially when you go and pull up the other stuff like the Chris Crack song, Crack Cocaine is crazy. The Ray song,
He's
G's
in
and Hustlers is
hustlers.
crazy.
He's in
G's and Hustlers is
hustlers.
insane, bro. You know, it you know, like there were other songs that felt like he was expanding himself and experimenting more. I don't want to say within his parameters because I want to encourage people to like explore and branch out, but it just felt like those songs worked a little better than the ones that were like, let me try to make a Detroit street banger, you know, like my man Alphonse had reviewed the album and he mentioned that, you know, like Wolf's stuff is already in conversation with all that music without him having to like make it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but think about that every time I would go back and listen to some of those songs. Like, and just like the stuff that felt more idiosyncratically him kind of connected with me more from that project as a whole, which is why that's not my favorite project of his as a whole. And I think Potluck, you know, to your point, Dan, Potluck is definitely closer to what I would consider like the ideal version of Wolf being himself in all these different permutations, you know?
That makes sense. Yeah.
I
How are
think I'm
you on
lar-
this, Dash?
I think I'm pretty aligned with Dylan here. It's Dope Game Stupid is definitely my favorite. Then it goes Potluck, and then my story got stories. I think my story got stories is very good. I don't think he has a bad record.
Right.
But I
Yeah,
think
agreed.
uh, there's stuff that just doesn't really work for me on my story got stories, and it feels like he's like very deliberately trying not to make Dope Game Stupid again. Um, and maybe like overshooting some things. He reins it back a little bit with Potluck. I think there's still stuff on Potluck that I don't think works completely.
Mm.
Um, like Pee Wee Herman, I think that Squatta B beat is really cool, but it's like kind of cartoonish in a way that is a little too cartoonish for Wolf. And I don't understand DJ Lucas. I don't care for DJ Lucas.
Woo!
I mean,
That's hilarious.
it does it DJ Lucas does I saw him play here in Richmond and he's a really incredible performer.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't really connect with what he does. And it just feels like that parachutes in from nowhere and it derails what was like a pretty cool, if a little bit too cartoon. Like, I don't know, that shit kind of feels like a funhouse mirror to me, that
Yeah.
whole song. I think the things on Potluck that work that are my favorite are they don't play up the more cartoonish things, which is what happened on Dope Getting Stupid. It was like he has this kind of like larger than life, almost silly persona that he pairs with these like crumbling, kind of like stark like upsetting sounding loops.
Right, right.
And that shit was so like you didn't hear anything that sounded like that. So how do you move on from that? And he's trying on all these different things. And for me, the stuff that works in Potluck is the stuff that's super minimal, like Guns and Squares.
Ooh.
Good ass
You know,
song, man.
it's a Craven beat. Craven is really minimalist. He allows for so much space, and both Wolf and Sir Michael Rocks just take advantage of that so completely. I think that's the stuff where it's like, oh, he is doing something different, kind of within his parameters, but it's also this feels different than what he was doing before, where it's like he's embracing the space. He's really trying to like bend time and bend his diction, like leave uh let syllables kind of dangle in ways, and then it all like snaps back onto the grid. That's the stuff that I think works the best for me on Potluck. Um, and I think it's really, I mean, hearing him on a filthy beat is crazy. Like
Yeah.
there's stuff that is just like I would not have expected that, and it works really well, but it still doesn't touch what he was able to accomplish with Dope Game Stupid. I don't know if he's going to ever do that again. I don't think he should
Right,
do that again
right.
necessarily. But like that's my favorite because it just feels so out of nowhere. And what we're going to get from him going forward is like a lot of really interesting experimentation. Um, I don't know, maybe he's trying to find something similar. Maybe he's trying to find something completely unique. I think following him on this journey is really, really rewarding
Oh
because you
yeah.
go to
Yeah.
any of these records and there's just like a mountain of incredible stuff. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It goes Dope Game Stupid, Potluck, then My Story Got Stories for
Yeah,
me.
you could put together a
Word.
pretty good greatest hits from the three. Um,
Absolutely.
I would say so too. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Go.
no. I'm sorry. You finish
I
your
was
thought.
just gonna say, I wish I could do justice to the way DJ Lucas does that Princess Mononoke line.
That shit was hard. I'll give him that. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, when he started, I was like, "Is this MC Paul Barman? What is that?"
Yeah, like let me I mean like Lucas is somebody that I really got to be in the mood to listen to Lucas's music, but when it works, it works. He works with Popo 2004 and Subject a lot. I'm huge
Yeah.
fans of. I'm like, as a Jersey boy, like
Right.
Popo and Subject speak exactly to they speak to my heart, and like their project together is great. But like I'm like I'm very I like I said, I gotta be like in a mood to want to listen to Lucas. But when I'm in that mood, it's just cool. Shout out to Lucas if he's listening. But it's funny because as much as I like Potluck and as much as I've gone back to quite a few of these songs, my favorite Wolf anything of the year is the verse he put on that Black Milk and Fat Ray record.
That shit's
Mm.
Like
crazy.
it's to me, that's my guest verse of the year so far. This shit is incredible. Like the beats nuts. Like Ray laid a great verse, and then Wolf just and then Wolf just slides right in and just like and just and you know just like the slick talk on that verse and him just like, you can't be mad at me, I'm just a devil in buffs, like 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 once again, that's like a quintessential, like, you want people to know what Bruiser Wolf is about, just like just you know, yeah, you guessed it, in hell I made the guest list, moving powder like Nesquik, like bro, like that's what I want from Bruiser Wolf, man. Like
The
that's
yeah.
everything to
Well,
me.
what about his verse on the Woods album on Black Christmas?
Black
Like that's
Oh
Christmas.
man,
it's
that one's
incredible.
great too.
Oh,
That's incredible.
Black
Nightmares
Christmas.
didn't come during dreams, and then when he's talking about like raggedy clothes, you think they're trying to
Yeah.
trick or treat. Like that's
Right.
insane. That I feel like that for me made Bruiser Wolf click more than anything I've heard. And like I was a fan already, but like something about
Yeah.
when you sent over the sort of advance for this, and you were talking about the sadness that comes
Mm,
through in his work, like that verse is spot on that. Like that is a
Yeah.
fucking like devastating verse. And he
yeah.
And there's
delivers
like no
it the same
jokes
way.
on it either.
No.
No. It's dead serious and he has the same delivery and it's like, oh, this guy can do this. This is insane. Okay. This guy is insane.
Yeah, dude. He's yeah. So,
Agreed.
and we this is a good segue, good time to talk. Dylan, to transition into the special relationship between Fat Ray and Wolf, right? every time they get on a song together, it's just insane.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they just push each other. And the the Biggie stuff on Fancy,
Mm-hmm.
the Fat Ray's flipping of that entire Biggie verse, like word for word, keeping the case. I've it's like nothing I've ever heard this year. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I love the two of them together, man. And I think a lot of that has to do with like classic rapper duo dichotomy type stuff. Like Ray's got the fucking cannonball baritone and Wolf is the fucking arrow. He's just like quick. He's lightweight, like in terms of like his voice and shit. Like there's like heft to his voice, but it's still very high and like helium. It's just like they sound so good together just because of the vocal contrast, and then just like the way they write is so different, and it just works. I don't know, like between Fancy and the feature on Dope, and you're like, it's worth noting Ray is on every single one of these albums. He's on Dope Game Stupid, on Made Men. He's on G's and Hustlers, on My Story Got Stories, and he's on what's this other joint called? Fancy, right? We were just talking about Fancy.
Right.
Just like it's a reason that he keeps showing up. And I spoke to Ray. I had Ray and Black Milk on Real Notes earlier this year for food. Anybody listening, Food from the Gods is like top 5 rap albums of the year. Shit is incredible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that project, and I'm beyond grateful that Milk wanted to come on and talk about it.
Incredible. Incredible.
But like, but yeah, like I think it's what point was I trying to make? Yeah, like it's worth noting, or no, not only is it worth noting that he's on all those projects, but like I talked to Ray about like what his relationship with Wolf is, and like even just hearing him explain to me, like I asked like how their song on the Milk record came together, and he was just like, "Oh no, I just had that song and we were at a party," and I was like, "Nah, nigga, I need you on this shit. Like just come in
Right.
here." And like like Wolf told me he just laid that verse out in like 45 seconds. Like that was like a one take verse. And it sounds like it was a one take verse too. Like he just went in there, he laid that shit down and left. Like it was like very like, we're somewhere else. I'm gonna go do this and leave. And it's like that's what you're capable of when you just like, that's a one take verse. Like, like I'd be really interested to see if the verse on Black Christmas was too, because yeah, like you're so right, Dash. Like what, like once again, and like we're talking about like contrasts. Like that's such a, like, if a fan who didn't know Bruiser Wolf before were to come to either of those two verses, they would get a completely different, they would have completely different perspectives on what type of rapper Bruiser Wolf is.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is
Right.
like, which I think is a testament to his talent and range, like Dan's been talking about this whole time. So like that's just another reason he's one of the illest we got.
I have a theory, Kay, on the reason Fat Ray and Wolf work so well together.
Okay.
One of the things I'll never forget. So when Dope Game Stupid came out, right? I name an MVP of the year every year. It's just a fun thing. And Raffi was my MVP.
Hey.
Mm.
First producer I think I ever named MVP. And he agreed to come on and I interviewed. And we did like an attention undivided thing, where it was just me and him. And he said that they worked in totally different ways. That Fat Ray is a machine and could just come in and kill it and leave, in minutes. You know, he's just ready to spit wherever he goes. And he said Wolf is meticulous. That, he's the editing, the delivery, the writing. He wants to make sure everything is right. And so those two coming together, um, it's like, Sabretooth and Loki becoming a team.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it just works.
Yeah, no, it's like fun. Yeah, it's not even like fire and ice. It's like thunder and magma. You know, like two
Right, right, right.
completely. You know, like just like that type of like, oh, these two things go together. Like on some like chocolate and peanut butter shit. They just like make each other. They're great separately, and they're even better together. So yeah, no,
And
shout out
I have to give a
Detroit's
shout
finest.
out to Danny Brown for letting these people breathe, right?
Yeah, man.
Like he jumps in, gives a killer verse here and there. I love I'm an Instrument, right? Like I love lots
Yeah,
of the songs they've done together, but he never wants to be a big deal. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm an additive. This is your deal. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, agreed. You know, he's not a I hate to bring up Diddy, but he's not like the executive dancing all up in the video. Like
Yep.
that's not Danny Brown's thing, which is what like I remember because like the year that Santa Barbara Dope Game Stupid and Justice Project and everybody else is like that was when they had made like Bruiser Brigade records, which I don't really think they're like
Mhm.
using like that no more. But like it made me happy that yeah, like Danny just kind of came in, did his thing, used his platform to put his people on. Like, cause like that's what you're supposed
Mhm.
to do. You know,
Right.
like you're supposed to put your people on, especially if they're all dope. You know, like everybody in like there's no like oh like my this one's better. Like they're all dope. Like JUS is dope. Quentin
Right.
Ahmad the God is dope. Fucking like Ray is dope. Z Loopers is dope. Like they're
Yep.
all dope. There's it's really no there's no weak link in the
Yeah.
chain. So
Yeah.
like and then but you see Wolf shine on a verse like his verse on YBP. And like like he's given this really sparse like Skywalker for people who may or may not remember like he was given Danny Brown some of the most like glitched out EDM adjacent shit ever in the 2010s. And now
Crazy.
like like for him to just like that YBP beat is just like it's bare bones. It's literally just this like distorted vocal sample and like a drum loop and that's it. And he just gives like Danny comes in and does his thing, incredible verses, and then Wolf comes in, Detroit City, that's how I live. It's like poetic justice. He gives shout out the drive, just like and like he caught the like he caught the rhythm of the beat in a different way than Danny did, and just like like once again like that's like a really serious fucked up verse,
Yep.
but like out but being like even like even just that image of like it's like poetic justice you get killed at the drive-in like it's very specific and like it's a reference but it's not a joke it's because I mean like anybody who's seen poetic justice or like the fuck's the
Right.
movie Boys in the Hood like like I think of like everybody almost getting shot up in Boys in the Hood too but like he has these moments where it's, where like he's painting the picture of the city and then he ends it on a punchline I mean like it's hard to fit in the murder mitten like OJ Glove like and like it's
Mhm.
funny but it's like he's just really good at that stuff and like he showed improved and it's like he has so I mean like to go back to the star power conversation from earlier like if you really wanted to because like like you think about it like Danny had songs with Purity Ring and shit bro like there was like a period of time where if Danny wanted to he could have like JPEG has an album with Flume. Like Danny could have gone the Flume route if he wanted to,
Right.
you know? And like who's to say where Wolf could take it? But he was given that opportunity to show up on that verse. And I think the only other features on that album are Mike and Casa overall, if I remember, like he's
Right.
like one of the only rap features on that album. And he showed and fucking proved, like just yeah, like yeah,
Yeah.
I just like Bruiser Wolf.
No,
I
I
just
hear
like
you. If Wolf retired right now, it would be an
him.
incredible historic run. Like,
Yeah.
there's like, I am not left like needing more. I'm excited for more,
Mm.
but this is already a heck of an achievement to me.
Yeah,
Um,
bro.
I
okay,
think
if
before we leave, sorry to cut you off. Before we leave the Fat Ray and Bruiser Wolf conversation, because we talked about them earlier, I was thinking about Shrapnel and how
Yeah.
those two like thinking about maybe Prem being the one who is like very meticulous and needs everything to be like very every line needs, every syllable needs to be placed just so, and then Castro being like, I'm ready. Let me take my sword out and just slice everything apart. I feel like that is the kind of like the interplay that we would get from a Wolf and Fat Ray record. That's the kind of shit that we get on the songs that they're on,
Yep.
complementing each other so well because they come from completely different approaches. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I
that's
don't have anything deeper to say about that, but I think that's an apt comparison, maybe.
a great
I
comp.
would agree, bro, for 100%.
A great comp. Yeah, it's
Yeah, man.
I would love to see it, and yeah, I would love to see that work out. The
Me too.
yeah. Any do before we go to recommendation corner, any final thoughts? Okay.
Oh
Any
no, man. This has been a great discussion.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Let's go into recommendation corner here. Um I wanted to say it is officially ugly duckling weather. Um it's People Under the Stairs, Ugly Duckling. This is the time for that music. Uh, so while I was cooking dinner, I was listening to Taste the Secret uh, with all the meat shake stuff on it. That's a hell of a thing.
Wait, what was that? Is that the title?
Taste the Secret is the title.
Taste the Secret is crazy.
Okay,
Come with it.
who's the artist?
Ugly Duckling.
Okay, what? Okay, I thought maybe I misheard something. All right.
No, it's about like a place called that sells meat shakes. And the whole theme of the album is that there's a place that sells meat shakes, and
Milkshakes of meat.
yes,
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
that's
all right.
hard.
and there's a skit where
Okay,
people go to order the what kind of shakes do you have?
okay, all right. I just
Like we have chicken and pork and like
all right. Okay, all right. Thank you for clarifying that. I was.
Bro.
you heard me say meat shake and we're like, what is
Yeah,
going on?
yeah.
I love that for us. And so yeah, that one's been that's a heck of an experience. The other one I went back to, you know, I Self Divine, LA State of Mind mixtape. Um, I Self Divine is an important person for me, and remains so. You know, fearless, and we got a chance to ask Brother Ali about him, and it was really cool to hear the perspective. But oof. And the third, I'm just gonna do it again, Kay. Yaya Bay, Do It Afraid.
Oh,
Mm,
come on. Come
mm.
on.
Dang that shit.
Come on.
We booked her hopefully later in the month. Very excited.
Yeah,
Um,
congratulations on that, by
that's
the way. I
awesome.
meant to tell you that before. It's
I'm
amazing.
really excited about it. And so that record is fucking perfect. Okay, that's such
Mhm.
a great album. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's right in our wheelhouse. So, um, and we announced that we are going to be doing a showcase in New York City,
The first one. Big it up
Brooklyn,
proper, Dan. It's the first showcase in New York City, bro. Come on.
Brooklyn, and we're gonna have the lineup is behind me here. It's heavy hitters. There's special guests. Um, it's crazy. We call it a dream come true, but I never dreamed of any shit like that, Kay. I never fucking. I was never thinking about that shit. But yeah, we're gonna be hosting too. It's gonna be good. We're gonna be doing it up, man, and I'm just really excited to be able to see everybody hang out. People are already there's word of important people coming that I'm a little, shocked by. But I'm very excited for everything, and Na really deserves a lot of love for helping put this together. Just a really sweet gentleman.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
he sounds so.
The
Anyway,
the amount of stuff that Mike not really does in he stays in Jersey City, but he be running shit out there. He be running shit in New York, bro. I swear, like just like the stuff he does at the Secret Pour, him and Dunce Caps, another rap show stuff, and he stays at Wonderville in Brooklyn. Like his work ethic is something else. He puts on for so many people. He's the reason I know who Yolanda Watson is, you know?
Right.
Like yeah, like yeah, just special shout out to Not Really. He's amazing.
He
Good human
reminds
being.
me of Jesse the Tree in that way, of like
Hmm.
somebody who people love to be around, but makes everything really easier. He's always thinking practically and engaging with you on what you want, and like
I love that.
just made it an easy process. Um, and that's how it's always been for me with Jesse too.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
Dash, what are you bumping?
All right, I got a few. A couple will be available once this comes out, but I'm gonna say them anyway.
Hey.
The new Silk Money record,
Ooh,
God. Yo.
the album title is the Who Waters the Wilting Giving Tree. I can't remember the entirety of it, but it is. Um, Let me tell you, as someone who lives in Richmond, Virginia, and pays close attention to the things that are happening here, there is nothing that sounds like this new Silk Money album. It's loud as fuck. He's like, he reminds me of Exhibit in some ways.
Yeah.
It's it's just incredible rapping. I have not heard something like this that has made me like lose my mind so consistently. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. It's incredible. Um,
when does that come out?
That comes out in a couple weeks. It's not January, July 18th. It comes out
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
next
Right,
Friday.
next week. Next
next, yeah,
week.
next
next
week.
week.
Okay, I
Um,
can do that then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Buckle up, y'all. He's not
I'm
lying. That
hyped.
album is fucking nuts.
I'm
it's
hyped for that
insane.
shit. I'm hyped
I
for
will
that.
have some words on it on a website that you all read
Beautiful.
around when it
I'm
comes out.
excited.
Come on.
Um, uh, I am stuck on Maxo's Mars is Electric.
Yeah,
I
you
think
wrote a
that
beautiful thing
record
on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
is
you did, man.
slow burn. It's really incredible. It's my favorite thing that he's put out. It is
Yep.
like I don't really know how to describe it. I tried. I reviewed it for Pitchfork. I tried to describe it, but to me, it just feels like you're holding something that's glowing from within, and you don't understand the source of the light. It's incredible. It's like he plays with his voice so much. The beats go into these weird like jungle breakdowns. There's shit that sounds like there's a producer from Manchester called Andy Stott who does these like super deep techno things. There's one song on there that sounds like that. It's just this crazy electronic, like vocal manipulation odyssey of it's incredible. Um, Shamar Emergency, I think that is it's one of the most stunning records I've heard all year. It just there's nothing that sounds quite like it, which is what I've said about all of these records so far. But it's just like if rhythm, it's like rhythm as drone with raps. It's noise, it's vulnerability. It is like peering into someone's heart as it's beating. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of work. I cannot emphasize if you have not heard that Shamar record, you got to go do it. And then the Shrapnel and Obliv record, which comes out in late
Yeah.
August,
Yeah.
is
Yeah. Absolutely.
whew, it is
Absolutely.
unreal.
God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, the Richmond connection comes through. I have
Yeah.
a piece. It might be out by the time that this comes out too. I went to Obliv's house to interview him for
Amazing.
Bandcamp, and he is one of the most inspirational people I've been around. He is there isn't anyone who makes music quite like Obliv makes music. And to
Totally.
hear Shrapnel over Obliv beats is an absolute treat.
Yeah.
So those are the four records that I've been going back to quite a bit.
Yeah, man.
Wow, man.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
yeah.
I consider Dash like a bit of a whisperer for masters of uncomfortable sounds.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anybody who's like a master of
Yeah.
uncomfortable sounds, you can run that by Dash, and Dash is like, here's the roadmap. You know? Um, yeah. So
That's
that's
very cool. I
yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree too, you know.
So Dylan, what do you got?
I mean, I wanna double. I want to put a fine point on how crazy that fucking Shrapnel and
Oh
Obliv
my
record
God.
is, man.
Yeah,
That shit
yeah,
is so nuts. And like, oh, I wish I could talk about it more. I don't. I'm not. I have so many thoughts and feelings about it that I hope I'm gonna write about it for hearing things. I'll probably do it in I'm definitely gonna do it for our 5 albums newsletter, which if you don't subscribe to hearing things, please subscribe to hearingthings.co. But yeah, like yeah, I'm gonna write about it at some point. But anyway, the stuff I've been bumping recently. So this first one is this K1 with All Due Respect album. I don't know if y'all are familiar. I don't know where she's from, but she put out this R&B record called With All Due Respect that I finally listened to. I've had homies tell me to tap in. My sister was telling me to tap in, and when they said it, I was like, okay, it's time for me to listen. And like it's just the perfect kind of like sticky, like lovelorn, fucking sweaty. We just came out the bedroom and it still smells like fucking lube. Like album that like R&B album I've heard in forever. Like it gives me the same feeling I got when I first heard Sid's Finn, the solo
Ooh.
record she put out
Ooh.
after what was it, ego, it was ego death that was after that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the where they separated, right? Yeah, so like that's like the K, so her name is K1, spelled KWN.
KWN. Yeah.
KWN,
I
and the
had it.
album's
Yep.
called With All Due Respect. Do What I Say is one of my favorite songs of the year. I don't remember the last time I heard anybody talk about painting their nails the same color as somebody's pussy and then digging inside. Like that's like and like the beats are stupid. Like
Wow.
I need D Mile working with K1 as soon as possible. Like it's serious. That record is fucking serious. I've been stuck on that for the last couple weeks. That was the first that was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then the second one, I just had it. Where'd it go? Um I want to say, I mean, just because it came to my head and I just had them on recently. Only One's Taxing by YL and Subject 5. Really, really fun, like summery New York City rap record. I'm a big YL, big Subject 5 fan, and they've worked together in various capacities before, but like this is them working on a full project together for the first time. Quite a few joints co-produced by Lord Unknown, who's another incredible producer out of New York who does great work. He also put out a really good project called Streets Ain't Watching. It's like a 1 track 20-minute long beat tape. It's really fun. I've been listening to that a ton. But yeah, Only One's Taxing is really dope. I've also been stuck on Sice Greeny's Master Sword 2, A Link to the Past.
Ooh.
Shout yeah, 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 no, shout out to Queen's finest, Sice Greeny.
Rip.
Love to the whole PSG fam. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've been traveling quite a bit, and that like that album, I've been taking that to places, and like it just kind of feels like I have the crib with me. So shout out to that. Shout out to Greeny, and let me find one more.
Dice Greeny is
Uh,
gonna have to be a guest at some point.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't been on here yet. Yeah, nah, he's just shitting out gold at all times. And it's
Which one
and
was
it's
that one you were done?
Master Sword 2, A Link to the Past.
Master Sword 2.
Yeah, it's amazing, like Sice Greeny's really he's on a wave that a lot of other people wish that they were on right now.
Mhm.
He's extra dope. And I'm probably gonna kick myself for forgetting another album. Oh, very brief shout out to Open Mike Eagle's Neighborhood Gods Unlimited. That
Yes.
album is also great. I just, I'm like Dan mentioned at the top. I had Mike on for the 200th episode of Real Notes. We
Yeah,
talked a
yeah.
lot about that album. It's really, really fun. But something that's out that people can go listen to right now. The Nyante album, For the Love of Money.
Oh man.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
yeah. By the way, love to the I've been in discussions uh to be on Secret House Against. It's been a
Oh,
dream of
come
mine.
on, son.
And we talked about what would be a good album. The Eagle, Mike Eagle, Neighborhood Gods
Yeah.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
So that would be awesome. Dude, I've wanted to be there for a while, so that would be great.
Yeah, shout out to Mega, shout out to Jet and everybody at Secret House Against. They're I'm like holding it down in Tokyo. They're amazing. I love them. But
I
yeah,
like
like those are but yeah, no, those are my four. Nyante's for the love of money, K1's with all due respect. What did I say? YL's only one YL and
yep.
Subject's only one's taxing,
Nice
and Mike
screening
Eagles and Sykes Greeny.
Master
Yeah, Mike
Sword.
Eagles Neighborhood Gods Unlimited and Sykes Greeny's Magic I just said
Master
Magic
Sword
Sword.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
That's dope.
I was thinking about the cartoon.
Oh, on the
Yeah,
movie tip, Kay, I saw Mickey 17.
Oh, the Robert Pattinson.
yeah,
How was it?
yeah.
I
How'd you
loved
feel?
it. We loved it. Like,
Okay.
but we like we're parents, so a lot of times we're watching like, fucking Disney movies or whatever. So it was I told my wife, I'm like, this is like a capital M movie here. This is like,
Yeah, bro.
okay. To use real notes verbiage. But yeah. And
Yeah, bro.
I don't love Pattinson because I feel like he's kind of trapped in the dark sad guy role a little bit. So this was a lot of fun to watch him get kicked around in a very like Bruce Campbell kind of way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was cool. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I
That
got to
was
check
him
it
and
out.
Naomi Aki's movie. Like the two of them are the reason I think that movie works as well as it does.
Totally.
Like I liked it a lot when I first saw it, and I kind of liked it less the more I thought about it. Not in
Mm,
a way that made it like bad, but like especially considering that it was the follow up to Parasite, which, in my personal opinion, I know this is I know this is controversial, but so brave is a perfect movie. I think Parasite's fucking incredible. Like sometimes the masses are right, y'all. That movie is
mm.
perfection. There's nothing wrong with it. But like, yeah, I thought Mickey 17 was pretty good. I want to watch it. I want to watch it again now that it's on streaming, but you
Yeah,
know,
I'm gonna check that one out. I wish I had seen that
yeah.
in the theaters.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yo,
Um,
I was with the I'm sorry to drag this
yeah.
out. I was with I saw it with the homies at a movie theater out here in Jersey, and like a dad and his son saw it, and like as soon as the credits started rolling, the dad jumped up and started laughing, and he was like, "That was the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
That's awesome.
It wasn't that bad, but like, yeah, either way.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
shout out to Bong Joon-ho. He's dope.
That's awesome. Yeah. Great, great movie theater experiences. You can't beat it. Okay, what
Yeah.
what do you have for
No,
recommendation?
nothing new this week.
All right, man. Hey,
I,
it's fair. It's
I
fair.
think, I mean, we have a lot of releases coming tomorrow, so I think I'll definitely have something new for
Hey, have
next
you
week.
heard the Rich Jones?
No.
Oh, I forgot to
It's
say that
great.
one.
It's great. Ah,
Camemos
me
comes
too.
Incredible.
out comes out tomorrow, okay? You've got to
Shout out
hear
to
that
Rich,
shit.
man.
It's
That's
another
Rich's
level.
best.
Rich Jones.
What's the
Rich
name of Memos?
Camemos. It's on $3 Pistol. It's on Zilla Rocca's label.
Okay.
It's I don't know, man. Rich might be my favorite Chicago rapper at this point right now. Like, I
He's
just
great,
love the
man.
evolution, like the Fonte skill set that is on display. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Where is it?
So
You know, it's so funny we bring this up. I was just listening to Dream Blunt Rotation earlier today. I don't know
oh
if y'all can see
god,
that.
it's
Yeah, like Dream Blunt Rotation's such an incredible song. Yeah,
yeah, and
and yeah, I was just talking to Rich like a week ago. He's that's the
yeah. I
homie.
mean,
Shout out.
I told him like my father died right around the time Sour Dub came out, and I just that was the album that kind of walked with me through that experience. So
Wow,
yeah, there's I have an attachment to that music that might be beyond the peripheral level. Um,
that's powerful, bro.
Shout out to the Patreon. Thank you for the people who support. Thank you for the people who just retweet, say nice things. Trust me, when I'm a dickhead to my family, I hold up your nice things that you said about me on the internet, and I'm like, see, huh? Huh? Somebody gets it, you know? So I use you as emotional weaponry, and I appreciate that. Oh, as 200 episodes, very impressive, Dylan. This is like 259 for us.
Wow.
Even more impressive than those two things. Today is my 15-year wedding anniversary.
Wow,
Wow.
that's extremely impressive. Congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
Trying to
15
get like
years,
you,
baby.
honestly.
15 years, and
Wow, man.
it's been a breeze, and we are better people because we challenged each other, got in each other's face, and we're better. We're better people.
That's amazing, bro.
And that's special. We're very lucky to have run into each other and humped.
What